Hi everyone, and thank you for purchasing the Advanced Text Block Shopify section by qwiqode. In this video, I'll be showing you how to actually use it. So if you haven't installed it yet, please refer to the separate video included in the package, and you also have access to a PDF with instructions for your reference. So to get started, open up the theme editor and navigate to the page you want to add the section to. Once you're there, click on the Add Section button to your left, and you can search for the text block, like so. QQ text section, and it appears in its default form. To the left, you can see the different sections the different elements of the section that you have: a subtitle, section text, section title, text block, and button. You can drag and drop however you'd like the order to be, and you have also an option here to add an image. So we'll keep this placeholder here, but let's say we'd like to have it above the entire section, like that. Let's first add some content. So for the image, go in here, select an image. This is the image in its default form, but we can change the size. We can make it full width image, like full of the content width, and we can play around with that as well. But you can also adjust when it's not in full width, for instance, regular, you can adjust the width of the image this way, and as well for mobile if you want it to be a little bit smaller. You also have an option here for image dimensions, where you can have it automatically cropping. Landscape won't do anything because it's a landscape image already, but you can crop it into a portrait type image or a banner, which makes it much thinner and wider, or square, like so. But for now, let's keep it at original. Next, we have the subtitle. Subtitle is this text right here. We can update that with the following settings. Here you would add in the text itself, like that. You could set up an HTML element. So if you want it to be H2 or H4, choosing this changes also the styling set up by your theme itself. But for now, we'll keep this at H4. You can change the color. Let's make it a medium gray. We can set up top margin, so if we want a little bit more space from the image. Bottom margin is the space below, so we can give a little bit more space there. Font size, line height, and letter spacing are all taken currently from the theme itself, but if they're set to 0. But if you like a custom one, you can adjust it here, like that. And letter spacing, let's give it 2 pixels. There we go. And then we have the same settings here set up for mobile. You can go in through the mobile view and adjust them specifically for that device. Next, we have section title. Section title is this right over here. We have the same exact settings. We have the HTML element. We have an option here to update the title color, font, and margins, font size, etc., and also for the mobile. That's all the same thing. Text block, very similar. We have the text block content here that we can add in, and the rest are typography related, just like the other elements. Custom font, color, margins, and font size, line height, letter spacing, and for mobile. For the button, we have an option to show the button. Obviously, you don't have to, and you can hide or remove it using this icon here. But you can edit the text there, add the link right over here. Typography, we can change the font itself. We can adjust the width of the button however we'd like. We have border width. I'll get to that in a minute. Border radius, if you'd like to have a radius on the corners, like that. Margins and padding. So margin, we can give more room to the top, or we can adjust bottom if there was something below here. Right now it's quite irrelevant. And padding is the space within. So if we adjust vertical padding, we can make the button much larger that way and more space from the text to the edge of the border, the button itself. Moving on down, we have button text styling. You can adjust the font size. Also, keeping it at 0, we'll use the default size, like that. And same thing for mobile versions. And then we have color here. Color, to adjust color, we have a background color, so we can make the button, let's say, red. We can change the text color to whatever we want. Let's keep it at white. And border color, if we want a border for the button, we can go back up here, make a bigger border. Right now, the default is black, but we can make it any color. Let's just choose that right now where it seemingly doesn't have a border. And hover is when you hover over the element. So here we can make it black like that, and then let's keep the border color the same. So the border changes, but we can even do something like this where we remove the background color and change the text color to black. So when we hover over, we have an effect like that. After we set those up, we can go back to the main section over here. And there's a few more things for more global content updates and styling and things. We can set up a background color like that. The width of the section, so right now it's regular and it fits basically within the width of other content on your site. We can set it up to be full width or 75%, like that. So let's choose regular for now. And the content max width is within this. We can adjust the maximum width of the content that we want. Now it's a little bit tricky depending on what width you set here. If we set it up to full width, and then we enlarge that, then it extends. So it's a matter of trial and error to get the look that you want. Text alignment, we could do left align, right align, and center. And same goes for the mobile. You can have a different setup for that. I'll get back to image placement in a minute. That's another feature that we have. Section margins and padding, it's the same concept, but now we're looking at the whole section as a whole. So if you have content at the top and the bottom, you can add more space in between them using that. Padding top and bottom, you can increase that and it adds more space within the section itself to the top and to the bottom, like that. And the same settings for mobile, the margins and the padding. Now, one other feature we have here is the image placement. For image placement, we can either select by order, which means we can change the order here and the placement will always be stacked, so to speak. Or we can put the image to the left of the content or to the right of the content. So it kind of gives a more article kind of or about us type of look and feel. So if we put it to the left of the content, we can have something looking like this. We can then adjust the width of the image depending on how much text you have here. So let's just keep it at, let's say, 40% of the total width. And then just using this feature to show you what's possible, let's go back to the subtitle. Let's reduce the margin and the top margin to 0. Oh, excuse me, I forgot to do text alignment left, like that. Let's say we don't need a button right now. So you have an option to do something similar to this if we have a much more lengthy article or text block, like that, and we select a different image, which is more portrait, or we just take the same image and we set it as portrait, then we get that kind of look. And if we want the image to be to the right, we can select to the right, and boom, it goes back that way. And if we remove the border color completely, or the background color completely, and we have multiple sections like this, we can have interchangeable text with image, once on the left, once on the right, and this can look really nice on an about page or something similar to that, or also on the product page if you have different features you want to highlight without having the image stack one above another. That's it. If you need any help, feel free to reach out to us via the support page on our website. And thank you again, and we hope that this section helps you achieve your website goals.